Hi, welcome back to this week's On the Run with Coach Nick. I'm Coach Nick. So today I want to talk about race prep. I signed up for a race kind of last minute, and I've ran, I think, at least 100 races now. So I'm pretty familiar with the process and what to do and what to pack and weather conditions, etc. But I kind of made some major errors on my part, and it's because I didn't follow my own checklist. The checklist is something that you can make for yourself, cater it to the time of the year or the type of race, if it's going to be muddy or if it's going to snow or just all the different variables that can happen. But the grave error I made was I forgot to pack compression underwear. Through trial and error, I found what works for me. Some runners, they don't need it. But I feel like it's going to be the equivalent to you girls with forgetting to bring a sports bra. It still works, but it's just not comfortable. So, yeah. And then when I got there to the race, I looked at the weather the night before, and I didn't look that morning, and it said the night before that it was going to be cloudy. And when I got there, it was overcast, but the weather changed, and as soon as the race started, the sun came out, and I didn't have any sunglasses. So not too crazy, not too bad, but I also didn't grab my headphones out of my truck, and by the time I realized it, I didn't have time to go back and get it. So I don't want to say it was a miserable run, but it definitely was a mental challenge for me. When you're used to your process and doing things, and then when something is amiss or different, it kind of throws you off a little bit. So I just enjoyed the race. I tried to love each mile that I was in, and it ended up still being okay. It just wasn't a good race experience for me personally. Now, it was a great race, well organized. Shout out to the Triple Crown race series. They had a 5K, a 10K, and a 15K, all staggered over various weekends. But yeah, it was a good race. And so I'm going to go over here very shortly what I prep to bring to a race, and I have a checklist that I follow. And maybe you can make one off of what I show you, or it'll at least help you so that you won't forget things for your race. All right, so here I've got laid out what I use for my race prep, and I'm going to go over things a little bit in depth with each one. All right. So I've picked all this stuff just as kind of an overall, not anything specific or weather specific. I've got my running shorts here, compression underwear, my favorite running shirt. I've picked out a couple different hats to show. This one I typically wear if it's going to be rainy. It's a full cover, so it keeps the rain off of you a little bit better, keeps it out of your face. And if it's going to be sunny, I just typically will grab a hat just to kind of keep the sun off my face. Got to have your running shoes. I have custom inserts in mine because I had suffered from shin splints really bad. Socks. There's several options with socks. These, depending on the race, I'll typically wear for the most part. If it's going to be longer distance, I typically will wear my compression socks. Sunglasses. Goodars, Chicago 2022. You have to have your eyewear, especially if it's sunny. Now, water bottle. I always bring a bottle of water with me anytime I travel to a race. Some hotels, I just don't think I want to trust their water. My electrolyte replacement, gotta have my Nuun. Band-Aids. Now, I typically wear these for nipple protection, and also it's a good idea to have them just in case you have that blister or you need some KT tape for that blister, but Band-Aids are a must. Vaseline. If you're a distance runner, this is a guarantee that you'll need. Extra safety pins. I can't tell you how many races I've done where I've got to pack a pickup or had somebody pick up my packet and I was missing these. This is a staple. Make sure that you keep some from a race with you in your travel bag or your race bag. Headphones. Every race is a must, at least for me, unless you're running with friends. Nutrition, depending on the distance of the race. If you're doing a 5K or 10K, obviously you wouldn't really need this. Half marathon, marathon, longer, absolutely this is a must. Now, I've saved this for last. Now, obviously, I am a guy and I don't have long hair. I don't use hair ties. However, I can't tell you how many races I've been where I've heard a girl say, "Oh, does anybody have a hair tie?" You will absolutely be the man if you say, I do. Or, of course, your significant other says, hey, I need a hair tie. Do you see any? You're covered. So again, a very general overview of what I pack and have a checklist to make sure that I have everything that I need. So hopefully for you newer runners out there, hopefully this helped. You got to see kind of what my spread looks like, what I pack for every race. Well, or at least almost every race. If this was a colder race, there would be different things on there. If this was a warmer race, it'd be different things on there as well. This is just a kind of very general overview. This was just designed to help you make your own checklist. I have a checklist on an Excel spreadsheet. I know, nerd. But no, on my laptop, I open it up, pull up my sheet, and then as I grab everything I need, I grab my shorts, I make a check mark, grab my Band-Aids, make a check mark. So that way I know that I have everything that I need. One of the other things that is super helpful is the night before your race is to get all of your stuff out of your bag and lay everything out. Get your water bottle set up with your Nuun or whatever you use. Set out your shirt, your shorts, your underwear, your sports bra, your shoes, your socks. Just put your bib on if you got, or pack and pick up done early. Just some of the things that kind of take the stress away from the next morning, where you can just focus on eating something before the race, getting to the race on time, finding parking, just one less stress reliever for that next morning. I do want to give a shout out to Fleet Feet Louisville. Whenever I travel for a race, I always try to go to a local Fleet Feet, since I coach out of a Fleet Feet and sponsored by Fleet Feet, that I want to just kind of check out. It's an extension of the Fleet Feet family. And when I went in, I was greeted very warmly, talked to a couple of the team members there, and they were absolutely great. They were super busy, but they still took time out of their day to talk to me for a few seconds and say hello. And I went in there to try to get a Fleet Feet shirt that had Louisville on it, and they didn't have any, but they gave me one of their program shirts, and I absolutely love it. So, but stay tuned next week for the next On the Run with Coach Nick. Love the mile you're in. Go get them this week and have a good week. We'll see you next time.